It's time again for another edition of the Online Zone right here on Card Player TV. Today we have another exciting guest interview to share with you, but first we're going to get into some of the news from the world of online poker. Isildur1 had been trolling around the 25-50 games for the last month or so before he decided to jump back into the high-stakes games on Full Tilt. His first match didn't go so well, and he quickly saw 90,000 move over to Isaac Haxton. His next match against Justin Bonema was a completely different story, and by the time the session was over, Isildur1 had taken over $500,000 from the tournament pro. On Tuesday night, Isildur1 got a much-anticipated rematch with Brian Hastings, who was the player who originally felted him for $4.2 million back in December. This time around, Isildur1 came out on top for $450,000. After beating Tom Dwan and Ilari Sahamis, the Mystery Suite is now up $1.6 million on the week. The Full Tilt Online Poker Series is still in full swing this week, and so far 15 of the 27 scheduled events have been completed. Notable winners include Chris CDBR 3799 Dombrowski and Chad JSC 81 Batista, who pocketed $225,000 for taking down Event 10, a $300 no-limit hold'em tournament. It was the second largest score of Batista's career and put him near the $2.5 million mark in career earnings. Two other online pros having great FTOPS runs are Steve Gboro 780 Gross and Casey Big Dog Pocket 5's Jarzabek, and it's no surprise to see the two of them at the top of the Online Player of the Year rankings. Gross jumped all the way from 8th to 1st place after he took 3rd in a $200 rebuy and 3rd in the FTOPS event number 12. He now has earned $363,000 this year in OPOI winnings alone. Jarzabek, however, has managed to stay right behind him in the rankings thanks to final table showings at FTOPS Event 14 and the Sunday Second Chance. Sitting just outside the top 10 rankings this week is 22-year-old Dave, Double Dave 22 D'Alessandro, who won the UB Online Championship main event for nearly $280,000. We talked with D'Alessandro earlier this week about his big score and how he got into online poker. Dave, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Great. So welcome to the show. I'd like to talk to you first and foremost about your big win in the UBOC main event for $280,000.
Yeah, it was just such an amazing feeling, an amazing rush. I mean, I don't want to say never, but I didn't really think this was possible. I had a couple big scores before this, but to outright win something like this is just so much to take in.
Now, one thing I didn't realize, even when I was writing the recap for it, was that you final tabled the same event last year. You finished 4th for about $72,000. What is it about UB? And I saw that you also took down an absolute poker tournament for another $50K. What is it about the Sirius network that makes you, I guess, just play better?
I mean, part of it is obviously going to be variance because it's just a sick game like that. But I feel comfortable there for some reason. It's just I think a lot of players' names are different too, and whether or not that's good or bad, I think it's a good thing because I'm going to play them how they're playing me at that time and not have any preconceived notions about them. And a lot of the guys that you're playing, I think personally that people on UV, even the regulars that play all other sites, maybe focus a little less on Ultimate Bet just because they're focusing more on the bigger tournaments and Stars and Full Tilt. But just when the UV tables are on my screen, they just seem to pop out at me. So maybe that has something to do with it. But I think mostly it's just short-term variance probably.
Well, whatever you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't really know a lot about you. Can you talk about how you got into poker and when you decided to go pro?
Yeah. So I started back. I guess it was 4 years ago. I just turned 18. My buddies they started to get into poker, and I had these two friends who were trying to convince me to put money on Bodog. And I was just playing free rolls at the time and having fun with it. It was during the whole poker boom and everything. But they ended up depositing $100 a piece, and I just made an account and watched them play. And they ended up both going broke, and I cashed in a free roll for like $3 and just played the penny tables and grinded that up like very slowly for the first, year and a half. I had only made, a couple grand from poker. And slowly it started to get a little bit more and more serious. And about maybe 2 summers ago, I still hadn't been playing that seriously, but I caught a big break when I was playing my normal Sunday schedule, and a guy messaged me on the Pocket 5 site and says, I want to put you in a couple tournaments. I'm like, all right, why not? I wouldn't be playing these tournaments anyway. And he puts me in 3 tournaments. It was just a standard deal, 50-50 split. And I ended up final tabling one of the FTOPS events, which I never would have played had he not come to me. And I ended up cashing for $102,000 and, sent him 50, got my 50, and was on my way after that.
Wow. It's like a Christmas bonus all of a sudden for someone to just come along and put you in a tournament.
Too, right? Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you about school. You're currently enrolled at the University of Hartford, scheduled to graduate in 2010. Does this change your plans at all, this 300K score, or are you going to stick it out?
Well, I'm very interested in finishing. I've no problem with that. Now, the issue is what I want to do when I graduate. Vegas happens right away, the World Series, so I'm definitely going to be going through that. But I feel like I don't want to take too much time off from, I'm studying audio and electrical engineering. I don't want to take too much time off from that because I feel like it's going to be hard to, explain what I've been doing for years in between working. And I don't know, it's just better to kind of get started early. I've sort of realized that, I do enjoy poker, but the problem is it's really an opposite schedule from what normal people work. We play, as poker players, we play on the nights during the week and then the days and all of the weekends. So, other people work 9-to-5 jobs during the week, and we're just the exact opposite of that. So, at some point, I'm going to want to start up a family and have a normal life, I'd say. So, I don't want to stick with poker forever, but I'm just trying to do it now for financial security, and then I want to get into music a little more, professionally.
Cool. I don't know how the World Series would look on a resume, but that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to let you pick your poison on this next question. I was scouring your Facebook and Twitter pages, and I came up with 2 stories. I'm going to let you choose one to explain. You play Flip Cup with your mom is the first one, and you ripped your pants at Bellagio. Go with it.
Those good stories. Wow, I don't know which one to go with. Well, the Flip Cup thing was pretty quick. We had my sister came back from San Diego. We live in New Jersey. And she came over to visit for Christmas, and then she had a couple buddies who were doing this RV tour around the country for. They were visiting every football stadium during the football season, and they landed for Philadelphia. We live right outside of Philly, and it was these 3 guys, and they were like a ton of fun. My sister and her boyfriend came, and my mom was there, and we just threw a big party for them because they'd been driving around in an RV all, couple months. So it's normally a good break for them to get into a house. So we threw them a big party, and my mom, she's fun. She's like, she just turned 51, but she looks like she's, 30, and she's a crack up. I love her, and she just loves to have fun with us. So I never really experienced her being a party animal in front of me, but she was a lot of fun. She was playing Flip Cup with us, and since we're from Philadelphia, we just saw the Always Sunny Philadelphia episode where they
Flipadelphia.
Yeah. So she just kept saying that, and she like nailed every cop. She was great at it. It was a little bit scary actually how good she was at it, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Flipadelphia is definitely one of our office inside jokes around here as well.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Well, Dave, I'd like to hear more of your stories, but I guess we're going to have you on later in the year where you can tell us about how you split your pants at the Bellagio. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it.
That will do it for another edition of the Online Zone right here on Card Player TV. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to send them to onlinezone@cardplayer.com. Until next week, I'm Julio Rodriguez, and thanks for watching.